Right, okay, so we'll now move on to our next playlist, which was key theme playlist this week. So playlist where we pick a theme and evolve the playlist around that theme. This week, Colours of the Rainbow was picked. So once again, the colours of the rainbow appear in the track name. And then we created a 12-song playlist out the back of that. Who should we go to first on this one? Let's start with Pete.
For me, I could have easily picked 4. So I had a bit of a dilemma at the end.
I'm 100% certain that there will be 2 that will be in your list. I'm 100% certain.
Go on then.
I'm 100% certain one of them will be Lana Del Rey, Blue Jeans.
Okay.
And I'm 100% certain one will be New Order, Blue Monday.
Okay.
I'm 85% sure that you will also have Orange Crush as one of those 4.
Okay, right. So, firstly, my first one is Blue Jeans by Lana Del Rey. So it's strange because I really like this track, and it was a double A side with video games, and I don't understand why video games got all the love.
I prefer this to video games
because I think this is a much better song.
I think it's a great song.
Yeah. So I never understood why this kind of was kind of pushed back. And video games gets all the love. So yeah, this one, and yeah, secondly, Blue Monday, obviously, really. I think it's one of the best bits of. I mean, who doesn't like this track? If anyone doesn't like this, they're a moron, I think. So, and yeah, you've absolutely got me pegged. Because it was between this and I was thinking about Yellow as well by Coldplay, which I really like. And it's interesting that you've picked 2 Coldplay tracks. Well, I mean, obviously I know why. But there's such a huge difference between, I think Yellow was their first or second single. And
yeah, I think it was their first.
But yeah, probably. And Violet Hill was the first off their 4th album.
Yeah.
So it's probably close to 8-9 years later.
Yeah.
10. Yeah, Violet Hill was all right. But Yellow, I nearly picked, but I decided that when push came to shove, I think if someone put a gun to my head and said, which is better, I think I'd have to say Orange Crush. So that's better. But yeah, there's some good tunes on there.
Yeah, it was in general. It was. I thought it's a playlist that I was quite happy to listen to. Cover to cover, really.
Couple of tracks in there I wasn't really familiar with. Moloko and Feeder. I was quite surprised by the Feeder one. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it's.
But Moloko, that did nothing for me. That one.
Oh really? I thought it was quite a fun song.
Didn't really
like it down. I thought it was fun.
Okay. There you go.
It was, in all honesty, I'd never heard the track before. It was one of the
only things you're talking about, I assume.
What's that, sorry?
Moloko.
Yeah. It got in the playlist through having Indigo in the name alone. But having listened to it, I thought, oh, do you know what, actually? This is a good track. Probably the weakest track in the playlist for me, anyway. Let's go with Tom's picks.
Well, I really struggled with Green Green Grass of Home as a song that I wanted to listen to in this playlist. The rest of them I could happily have listened to twice over, but that one I was just waiting for it to end so that I could listen to Blue Jeans.
It's all right. You never choose to put it on, but it's right.
This one was actually, this one similar to what you said there, though, is like I had had a real struggle picking 3, so I had to base it pretty much on how I was feeling when I was listening to the playlist.
Yeah.
Like what I was in the mood to listen to. So as much as I love Yellow, I was slightly happier than that song when I listened to it, so didn't pick it. Ended up going for Violet Hill because of the 2 Coldplay tracks. That was slightly funkier at the time. I was listening to it and I was in a sunny garden, and that was slightly more sunny garden themed than Yellow was. I think I went back to Little Green Bag like 3 times and listened to it just because I enjoyed listening to it. It was a fun song. And then Blue Jeans was my third choice.
So your second choice was Little Green Bag?
Yeah. And then third choice was Blue Jeans, basically just going through the playlist, enjoying it, and then thought it had finished at Green Green Grass of Home.
Yeah.
And then found Blue Jeans and was like, boom, that's the winner. That's going up there.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So this is going to be an interesting one then. Right. So my choices were first and foremost Little Green Bag. I just think it's one of the funkiest tunes. It's like just highlights the ability for Tarantino films to just pick out gems.
I might be alone here, but I kind of feel like once the intro of that's kind of over, I mean, it becomes...
You know what's odd, actually? And again, this is something semi-video related. I listened to that a couple of times on this playlist. As I say, this was a playlist I listened to a couple of times throughout the week. When I watched the video to make the video playlist for YouTube, I felt exactly like that. I just kind of got bored very quickly. Whereas actually just listening to my headphones when going for a walk, it just felt so much better. I think my second choice, which neither of you picked, and I
before you announce it,
yeah,
let people try and guess 2 of yours.
Oh yeah, go on. See if you can try and guess my last 2.
So what have you gone for? You've gone for Little Green Bag. You've just said 1. I think you might have gone for Orange Crush. Ooh, yeah. And I reckon, I don't know, did you say they're all different to mine?
No, one of mine is different to both of you. The other one's not.
I don't know. It's you've either gone for Orange Crush or Blue Monday, I think.
Okay, right.
You're going to say fucking Blue Jeans now, aren't you?
One of my choices was Blue Monday. I initially had Violet Hill and changed it for Blue Monday after re-listening to Blue Monday again. It's just not a track I could leave out, really. I do like Violet Hill. An album, we talked about this before with some other bands, an album that I despised when it came out. Could not stand that album by Coldplay. I was working at HMV at the time and it was a heavy play. I think that I was working in a small store at the time and it was on repeat all day, every day for this release week.
That album's where they lost me. I don't mind that one so much. What was the next? Viva La Vida is one of my least, like.
Well, that's the album that comes from. But Viva La Vida, the song, I agree with you. But if you listen to the album, Viva La Vida is probably the weakest track on the album. I've gone back to it not more recently, but a couple of years after the torture of having to listen to it over and over again, and I actually really rate that album now.
It completely changed the way because before that I really liked Coldplay, and then that album came out, and it actually just kind of made me dislike them.
Yeah.
They did this Sergeant Pepper uniform kind of thing, and they just went
just try and ignore that though. Just listen. This is one of those albums that I would fundamentally say stay away from videos, stay away from any of the artwork, stay away from all of that. Just listen to the music, because Chris Martin, certainly of the time, he was hitting that peak of just too much ego. But the music itself, I think it's really decent. The weirdest thing about that album is that the weakest tracks were the singles. I like the album tracks are so much better than most of the singles. I think the best of the singles was probably Lost. Violet Hill probably close behind that. But yeah, so I picked Blue Monday instead of Violet Hill. Yeah, for the same reasons you, Pete. Like, it is a song that could be released now and it would still be a banger. My third choice, and by no means third position, probably first position, and one of my favourite songs of all time, is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Okay. I like that one. That was a surprise, actually. I hadn't listened to that in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, this for me is probably in my top 10 songs of all time. I absolutely love this song. It's Elton John at his absolute best. But yeah, they're my three choices. But it could have been any of most of the rest. I mean, on a lot of playlists, Red Red Wine would have been close. Orange Crush is one of my favourite REM tracks. Yellow, I've gone off in more recent years.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I heard this playlist, that was actually the first time I heard it in probably a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is good. Sometimes it's good to have a little break from, you start to appreciate it again. But
Indigo, as we said, it was picked for no other reason than the fact there's not many songs out there with the word Indigo in the name.
Yeah.
But having picked it, I actually thought it was an okay tune. And it was interesting to hear some more Moloko as well. I mean, I've not heard Moloko probably in about 8 years. The feeder track, Infrared's Ultraviolet, again included because of the name, but does highlight something which I've long since held as a belief, which is it's a shame that people don't take notice of them so much anymore. Because some of their more recent stuff I would argue, is some of the best stuff they've ever done as a band. They're well known, obviously, for things like Buck Rogers and Just a Day, which were sort of late 90s, early noughties festival anthem type tracks. But people who follow them as a band and have continued to buy their more recent albums, they've actually been releasing some really good tracks and some good albums as well. Basement Jaxx, Red Alert. I'm not surprised it didn't come up in anyone's three, but surprised it didn't get a mention by anyone.
It is good. I do like it. It's
I don't think it's something I can go back and listen to for fun though. Like, I don't get much enjoyment listening to it.
Yeah, no, I probably really like it in like a disco or something.
Great at a discotheque.
Like a wedding,
I can imagine being at a barbecue with some friends and it being on the playlist in the background while everyone's just sort of chilling outside with a couple of beers. Right, Green Grass at Home. It's a difficult one with that, because I think it's a very well written tune, very well written song. I kind of agree that it's not my cup of tea a lot of the time, but a very iconic song of its time. One of the main reasons Tom Jones is such a well thought of artist, and him and his pomp, basically. And then Blue Jeans was difficult to leave that off my three. I do like a bit of Lana Del Rey, and I particularly like that track. So Yeah, I mean it's difficult. So we've definitely gone for Little Green Bag. That got 2. We've definitely gone for Blue Monday. And we've definitely gone for Blue Jeans. I think they are the only 3 that got 2. So yeah, quite an easy pick there. All 3 of those got 2, and then we had single choices for Orange Crush, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and Violet Hill. All 3 of which I'd have happily seen move on as well.